5% of the population can be described as extremely suggestible.
What can you make them do?
Anything.
Okay,
Denver, Colorado!
I know. Woo. Have you ever been out there?
Yeah, my dad was actually born in Denver, Colorado, and he was raised in Texas, but I've gone there. I remember doing my first road trip across America with my mom when I was 11, and we drove through there, and it was just the most amazing thing. And I've been there several times over the years to go to festivals or visit friends, and I love Colorado.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea you had the Denver connection.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So do you go out a lot, or is it just every now and again?
I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I have some really great friends who live there, so I've been planning on doing a road trip again, because the last time I went there, I drove from here, and it was awesome. Like, especially during this time of the year, I remember in the winter, and you're going, and the trees are magenta colored with like snow everywhere. It's one of the, it's a vivid memory since my childhood of just thinking about Colorado and just how beautiful it is. I always am drawn to going back. Like, it's a really beautiful state. I highly recommend traveling across America for people because they just don't realize how beautiful this country is.
Do you know everyone in Colorado is going to love you now? Is there any special spots you ever went to, or?
Yeah, Boulder. I've gone obviously to the different festivals. So I've been to Telluride, but I really like Denver actually, and my friend is living there again right now. So I kind of have to go and see her.
So you might see Rosario Dawson walking around Denver.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you this because obviously this movie plays on fear a lot. So if you had to see a hypnotist for one fear, what would it be for?
Ooh, let me think. I think it's sort of, like, that changes. It kind of goes through different things. Probably I would say jellyfish. I don't know what it is. It's tentacles that are electrified. Just don't do it for me for some reason, shockingly. So I kind of get weirded out when I go into the water sometimes. If I see something in there, I'm like, you know, like if some like seaweed touches your leg and you just don't want to be that person like twitching in the water. It's just not cute, you know? So that would be nice to kind of just like, if it happens, it happens. You know, I'm flexible. I can pee wherever I need to kind of get it off, you know?
Pee? Pee?
Don't you have to pee on it when it's like, that's what I'm so freaked out about, like a thing. Isn't when a jellyfish, when it connects on you, like you have to pee on it or something?
I think I've heard of
Isn't that true?
So I guess peeing, jellyfish, this is gone
It's just
totally
not the
off
reason
track.
you go to the beach, right? That's
Okay.
all I'm saying.
Okay.
So maybe you just need to get it out of my system.
Okay, so your deep dark fear, jellyfish. Okay, and then I want to ask you this. I loved you in Rent. So what was your favorite song from that show, and what's your favorite musical?
Another Day is my favorite song. You know, the heart may freeze, or it may burn, or it can burn. I'm already messing it up, it's terrible. But my favorite song, my favorite musical will always and forever be the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Which song?
Every song. I mean, I can't. Sweet Transvestite is the most awesome thing. My brother's 6'5" and tons of fun and awesome and great. And I love that on his birthday last year, he sang Sweet Transvestite and karaoke. He's always gonna be my favorite person.
I don't know that one, but I'll have to look it up.
'Cause I'm a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Come on.
Okay,
Freddie
I know
Mercury?
it now. I do
Freddie
know it now.
Mercury?
But I
mean,
just had to watch you
Freddie
sing it and do
Mercury.
that great
What am I saying?
interpretation.
I'm like, Freddie Mercury? What is wrong with me?
Tom something.
No.
Tim Curry. Tim
Curry. That was like the worst moment of my life.
I like your voice.
Imagine you're in a place where you feel secure, in control, and you feel so comfortable, so relaxed. All your problems.
Where is the painting? Remember.
This movie obviously dealt a lot with fear. So if you could see a hypnotist for a fear, what would it be?
Oh man, what am I afraid of? Oh, I like being afraid. This is a problem for me. I like being afraid. It's quite a natural state for an actor to be afeared. So I'm quite used to it. You know that whole kind of cliche of feel the fear and do it anyway or whatever?
Did you just
That's
say
kinda
afeared?
Like, yeah, afeared.
Afeared. Is that a word?
Yeah, afraid. Afraid, afeared.
I don't know if afeared is a word. Okay, afraid. So you're.
Afeared is definitely a word, lady.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it might
I'll
not
have
be
to
in
look
common,
that up.
It may not be in common parlance, but it's definitely a word.
Okay, afeared. So you're the type of guy who likes to go on roller coasters and jump off cliffs, or?
Yeah, I am. I do like to do all that stuff. I have a kid now, so I need to kind of temper it a little bit. But no, generally, I like to jump off things quite easily. There's a shot in this movie, actually, where I did jump up on the ledge of a 6-story building. And And Danny said to me, I said, I need to do this. I think I should do this. This is what my character should do right now. And he went, well, we don't have any stuntmen. We don't have any ropes. We didn't plan to do this. You can't do it. The producer was like, you can't do it. You'll kill yourself. And we're not insured for this. If you die, we shut the movie down. And then, so they wouldn't let me do it. And then right before they said action, Danny just goes, hey, James, yeah, do it. And so I got to do it, which was great.
So you're fearless.
Not fearless, but I like being afraid.
Okay, very cool. And I'm a huge fan of X-Men. Obviously, you play Professor X. So I was wondering if Elizabeth Banks and Professor X sat down for a cup of coffee, how would that conversation go down?
Wait a minute. Right, who's Elizabeth Banks again?
Who? Elizabeth Banks is Rosario Dawson's character, the hypnotist.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Is it Elizabeth Banks? Is it not Elizabeth Swan?
It's
Is it Elizabeth? No.
Banks.
It's not Banks, is it?
It is
all right, well, if
Banks.
she sat down with Professor X... Oh, no, I know what Professor X would be like. He'd be like, put away your anger. Your anger won't help anybody. Get over it. You can't truly love yourself until you've forgiven everybody in your life. And he's all like that. And then he'd say like, I think he'd hit on her because he's a bit of a cad, as I play him anyway.
Oh my gosh, I love Professor X. Okay, so I also know you were in the British Shameless, love the American Shameless. So if the American Shameless cast got into a fight with the British Shameless cast, how would that go down?
I think the British, I don't know about the American cast, but I think 99.9% of the British cast all come from estates. I don't know if you guys call them projects or whatever. I think we all come from that sort of neighborhood. So I don't know. I don't know about the American guys, but I know that we're fairly dirty.
Doughty?
Dirty.
Dirty. Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks so much. It was nice meeting you through the TV thing.
It was amazing.
It was stunning. Wonderful.
Beautiful. It was the highlight of my televisual life.
Oh, very good. And I've learned a new word today, afeared. I will look that up.
I know what you were going to do to me.
She put that memory there. It's not real.
Ever been out to Colorado before?
On what?
Colorado?
Did I go to Colorado?
I always ask, and everyone's like, no.
I think there's snow, and
Yeah.
I think I've been there two years ago. I don't remember, to interview an actress, Hemingway. She has a. Yeah, I've been there once.
Like in the mountains?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Some ski place.
Some ski place.
But I was young. I was an assistant photographer.
You were an assistant photographer. Oh yeah, Jacki Jing, Channel 2 Denver. So you were assistant photographer.
Yes.
And you were in the mountains somewhere.
Yes, I went there to. We were doing an interview of that actress for Elle magazine at the time. I was really young. I was like 18.
18. So you haven't been back since you were 18.
In Colorado? No,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Did you like it out there?
Well, it was cold and nice, and I wanted to ski, but I didn't have time to do that. So.
Are you a skier?
Ski? Yeah, I'd love to ski, of course.
Have to go back then.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so obviously this movie had a lot to do with fear. So I wanted to ask you, if you had to see a hypnotist for one fear, what would it be?
You got me on that one. I'm not sure really. You know, it's fear. I would say maybe fear of heights, but even that, I've been trying to fight back, doing like skydiving. So instead, I don't know if I would really. I mean, I have a tendency personally not to rely on somebody to cure me from something I think I should deal with. You know.
Okay, so you're a little bit afraid of heights, but you went skydiving, so probably not really that afraid of heights.
Well, I cured myself, I guess.
Yes, okay. And then, okay, you're like super nice, funny guy. In this movie, you were fearsome. I mean, I got scared when you'd come on camera. How do you get that, like, tough, like, hard kind of persona? Like, do you think of a certain person, or is it, like, in the look, like a scowl? What is it?
I don't know. I mean, it's well, the thing is that, anyways, you know, when it's written in a way where the second scene you are torturing somebody, pulling his nails off, then you know anything you're gonna do is gonna be scary. You know, this guy is capable of this. So, I mean, and in that movie in particular, because I played a few gangsters in my life already, I felt like I wanted to try to do a very normal gangster. He has nothing flashy, you know, about his looks. he's a pretty normal guy, you know. It's just that he's a businessman and he works in that business in particular.
Okay, one last question for you. I asked all foreign actors this. What is that one thing that like surprised you about Americans that really annoyed you?
Something annoying about Americans?
Yes.
The food.
The food is just not good? Why?
Well, you see, you don't even realize it.
Is there a particular
Even
one?
well, no, I mean, I like hamburgers and that's what I eat when I come here, by the way, you know, and chicken wings and stuff like that I eat, but after a while I feel like I'm just inflating.
Fat Americans, typical.
The plan was simple. Hypnotize the guy, you bring me back the painting.
It's kind of funny because before I went to Trance, I just happened to be watching the Psycho trailer, and I just thought it's been such a long time since there's been like a good thriller, and it seems like almost everything's been done. Would you agree with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there aren't enough. I personally don't think there are enough psychological thrillers, and I think the reason for that is because you've obviously got to generate an original story each time, you know, to justify it. They're twisted, convoluted plots that isn't just about characters or relationships, it's also about plot devices. And they're hard to dream up, I think. So that's why there's a limited number of them. But I love them personally.
What makes a good thriller?
When you don't know who to trust. I think that's one of the things. So because you think if it's got, oh, right, okay, this is going to be complicated, I'm going to hang on to this character, he'll guide me through it. And that's what you do at the beginning of this film with James McAvoy. You think, yeah, he's a nice guy, McAvoy, and he's got the voiceover, and he's looking in the camera occasionally, so he looks like he's our guide. And then it doesn't quite turn out quite like that, you know, it begins to shift and change. So you think, oh, maybe I should go with this guy, Vincent Cassel, but he's really violent. And then he becomes lovelorn by the end, and then it's, so do you back Rosario Dawson's character? But why should you? Because she doesn't appear until 20 minutes into the film, and she's a kind of innocent bystander, isn't she? Maybe not, and then it keeps changing. So I love that element, because that puts you, I think, in the place the characters are, which is that you're in a puzzle of your own making, and you've got to try and figure your way out of it. And hopefully the filmmakers delay your full understanding until as late as possible. You know, and then you think, whoa, should I see that again? And then you've got the option, you can, and if you go back and see it again, it does make sense the second time. That's all I can say. We were very conscious of our obligation of making sure that if you went back on it, it would make sense the second time.
Okay, I want to know, what's your favorite thriller?
Oh my God. I suppose, I mean, I love, and I really think there's not enough of those. I love things like Body Heat, you know, those kind of thrillers, and Last Seduction, those kind of things. Those twisty-turny, femme fatale. I love those. And there's a bit of this where obviously Rosario Dawson is very much occupying the idea of the femme fatale, using her beauty or her sensuality or allure to twist and manipulate the men in the way that she wants. But her story is much more intriguing than that. It's not like a cold noirish story. There is heat and damage and emotion there as well. So I love those kind of movies. But I also love, like, the Coen brothers' first movie, Blood Simple. That's a kind of wonderful thriller, I think. So there's many of them I love, yeah.
Okay, and then quickly, they're giving me the wrap here,
Sorry.
but I loved what you did with sound and the music. I almost feel like I could feel it. I don't know,
Yes.
In your opinion, is sound just as important as visual, or do you think it's something that can take the back seat at times?
It's 80% of a movie, sound. People don't realise it because you can't see it. Everybody thinks it's about visuals and about cinematographers and what the actors are wearing or what they look like. 70–80% of a movie is sound. And in this case, we recorded her voice especially with incredible precision, so that it could almost begin to feel like it's inside your mind in the way that it is inside James McAvoy's mind. And then you supplement it with sound effects, and you tear it. You can tear the fabric of the film. The actual film itself doesn't tear, but you can feel it beginning to part, and the difference between perception and reality just fuses, so you don't quite know whether you're really in the French countryside or not. Things like that, and whether you're in this church with all these stolen paintings or not. And then you add the music, which is the pulse that drives the film forward, you know, that pushes you and raises the emotion. Listen, I love sound, and it isn't given enough. It should be like the leading actor. You know, when they give the Academy Awards, leading actors, sound should be there as well. At that stage, not early on in the evening, it should be late on, because it's everything, you know, and people don't realise it.
Was I hypnotised?
He's afraid that once he's remembered, you'll kill him.